Right, so it's the 21st of April 2025, and all I'm doing is standing under a fucking thing because of a torrential fucking rainstorm followed by blue skies and sexual weather. So yeah, I'm in the middle of the fucking road basically, trying to fucking hide to avoid getting torrentially drenched after just washing my clothes and drying them and having a bath. Right, so the next fucking problem I want to mention is, yeah, you had the burning problem last night and there's been quite a few threats from outside. Anything from injecting you with a HIV needle to smashing you out, to knifing you dead, breaking in, to doing this and doing that. And if it gets any heavier, I'm going to have to go home. I just have to get drenched, and I'll sit in the burning, and I'll just... the cunt's fucking possessed. This is absolutely fruitcake weather. I'm getting drenched. Well, I expect there to be some form of... Yes, I'm gonna get... Alright, yeah, you're stupid, Christ, fucking stupid. Fucking fucked up weather. You handicapped the fucking weather pattern, you stupid cunt. Right, while I'm stuck in a torrential rainstorm, I'm just letting God hit out the cars, choking me with a catalytic converter, and telling me it's all black and fucking blue, right? Knife-shaped and gun-shaped and sexual. Right, I do understand, I'm sick. You fucking absolute nasty, belting, pouting bastard, Christ. You're just absolutely possessed, Christ. You're fucking Satan. Fucking Satan, the fucking evil of all creation. There's no need for this fucking stupid fucking weather pattern of blue skies and sex in the sun weather or fucking torrential rainstorms. We had this in 2020 fucking 2. No, you're gassed out now. Doesn't matter, it's only a catalyst, Christ. When you choked out by catalytic converter, yes, there's a catalyst. It's supposed to... You're supposed to fancy a granny catalytic converter, Christ. Fucking cunt. Oh, it's getting heavier. Well, I've already been here 10 minutes. Christ, you fucking warped bastard. It's done deliberate. God wants me drenched, but there shouldn't be a reason. I'm gonna have to get wet. I'm gonna have to. I'm really fucking go. The bastard's fucking cursing. I can't even stay there now. That's how fucking wet it is. You can't even fucking stay under a fucking thick fucking hedge line without getting drenched. Right, so... There's nothing I can do about it. I'm stuck there. This is why God put me here. To put me in frets. The cunt's possessed. The cunt's Satan. The cunt's absolutely fucking insane. The creator God is absolutely buckled. Right, I've had to delete a couple of recordings because I want to redo them. Well, I got the chance because the digital audio recording device is playing up and won't delete files. I just wanted to mention that I did go out for a first time earlier today, which was this morning. I went to Aldi's and I noticed that they were controlling the cars on the road to stop me crossing the road, so I had to wait about 2 minutes before I could cross the road, and then they were doing the same on the next section, which pissed me off a bit. While they were doing that, obviously it was rigging up people that are nasty and rough in my direction. There was a couple of people that shouted at me because obviously they're controlling nasty people around me in a controlled way, or rough people to be angled into my direction or timed into my direction. So obviously there was quite a few threats initially when I went out this morning. There's quite a few people that have photographed me, loads of black and blue cars. They've even timed that gun looking 1960s type of racing car looking car 3 times. And then you had a rent-a-kill van followed by a time to go van, that's time, and then number 2 and then go, to come out in that order, while holding me at the crossing for 2 minutes. Anyway, when I got across, after all this crap was set up, I ended up walking into another couple of rough people getting a bit angry. One held his fist up and put his fist into his hand as he passed me, thinking I was Sven, obviously. He is having a conversation, saying he's the child rapist. He's going to have to be smashed in, you know, saying stuff like that. One person walked past saying burn, and it's interesting he says that because I'm getting burning problems at my place and I don't know what's causing it, but this person did actually say burn as he passed me, and then it sounded like he might have said Sven after, but I don't know. Sven's not my name. I've never been known as Sven, and the threat didn't even exist before 2017 or whatever year it was. So anyway, in Aldi's, firstly there's a car that's being angled towards me and a car reverses at me, but when I get into the doorway of Aldi's, someone takes a photograph of me, gives me a dodgy look, and then they start having a rough conversation, but I don't know what they said. when I was in Aldi's, there was 5 people trying to sneeze in my face, 1 coughing at me, and there was 3 people that give me a couple of threats in there. Again, it's the same type of stuff, anything from you're being shot dead to you're a rapist or a paedophile or woman beater or a dangerous alcoholic or dangerous druggie. When I don't do drugs, I do alcohol but I don't do drugs, you know, and that sort of stuff. And then obviously, as I was getting towards the checkout, another person gave me a dodgy look. Then I walked out of Aldi's. There was 2 people that were rough that were coming in my direction, who were having an argument between them, thinking that I was Sven, saying I'm being smashed in. Straight after that, there's another person that said something, but he said my name this time. He said Justin, so this person knows what my name is, but I don't know who this person is. And then obviously the traffic flow, once again, they were stopping me crossing the road. There was a couple of vehicles with wording on it, but I can't remember what the names of the wording was on the vehicles, because quite simply, I was just trying to get across as fast as I could, and again it took over a minute to get across on the one side, and then the other side it took about 45 seconds, possibly a bit longer, which is not usually the case. Usually I can get in between the cars and just cross, but the way it's patterned out today was in a way where it's stopping me get past. And in the process of while that was happening, by the time I got to the other side, there was 2 rough people that were shouting their heads off, saying that I'm going to bash my fucking brains in, saying that I'm a woman beater and child rapist, and saying that's Sven. And obviously they're filming me with their smartphone as well, but I just have to walk normally and just put up with it because there's nothing I can do about it. So I can't remember what happened when I was walking back up Southville into Eastville where I live, because I've forgotten and I don't have the sheet of paper with me. But yeah, the burning problem was a little bit less last night, but it wasn't perfect because I was still burning and I was still feeling bad. And obviously one of the neighbours under me is a bit unhappy, which is the new neighbour Alan. So I don't know what's wrong with him today, but obviously it's probably nothing to do with any of the neighbours or anything like that, but he just seems like he's going through possible issues. Anyway, it's not my business, and obviously I can't give his surname for legal reasons or without his consent. But to talk to, I've seen him a couple of times, and he does seem like he's a decent chap, but I don't really know him that well. So yeah, the next time I go out is a little bit more different. So initially, again, I can't remember what happened initially when I was walking down, but there was a couple of threats from people doing work, or if it's not people doing work, then coming from someone that's doing something, claiming that I'm Sven, saying that I'm going to be fucking smashed out and fucking basically saying that you're going to be fucking knocked out and beat up, but said in a really strong term. And then after that, I reached the road, and like last time, it took at least 2 minutes to get across the road because they were controlling the traffic in a way where I couldn't get in between the vehicles to cross over, and I couldn't be bothered to press a button at the traffic lights because usually I don't have to do that. It's only in recent times they've been controlling the traffic flow in a way to stop you crossing the road where it's like difficult to get across, and that's exactly what's happened today. So after that, there's a knife-shaped pushchair that's pushed my way, and a couple of Indian people were photographing me with their phone and giving me a bit of a nasty look. Straight after that, there was another Indian person that got a little bit choppy as he passed me, but I couldn't work out what he was saying because it's in his language as he passed me. Straight after that, there was 2 rough people. One crunched his fist and then managed to control himself, so he had his fist crunched. Then he tapped it into his hand as he passed me, and then there was a couple of things that were said, but again, it wasn't in my language, and I couldn't work out what was being said. Then obviously you had quite a heavy flow of traffic, but first of all you had a couple of other people. Then you had a couple of normal people past me, you know, people that are safe. Before, straight after that, you had another 2 rough people in my direction in their early 20s, and this is like the hard style raver type people, and they started on me as well. Again, they thought I was Sven, and saying that they're going to fucking break my legs and fucking smash me up and all that sort of stuff, and claiming it's this and that on sexuality, stuff that's not true. Then you had, more traffic flow. I can't remember what happened next. I'm pretty sure there was another threat, but I can't remember what it was. Then trying to get across the bridge, it started to rain, obviously, and obviously the traffic flow initially was a car cutting me up and almost trying to, hit me, and then I nearly slip, and then as I slip, there's a car that's coming around at speed around the corner at an early time to hit into me, and then obviously this is where I started the recordings and where I was hiding under the hedge on the road to avoid getting soaked due to a torrential rainstorm that occurred before the sun came back out. After I left there, initially I went to continue walking up, and then I decided, no, I can't be bothered. The weather's just too unpredictable. So I decided to go back the other way. But as I did walk back the other way, firstly there's a lookalike to someone who sexually abused me as a child. Then I noticed that if I was to go back in the town, it looked packed for people, but it was of a certain type of person. It seems to be these really rough type guys, or these really nasty types of people that always start on me, and also the type that always think I'm surveying. So I thought, I'm not going to go through all that because I'm not in the mood for it, and I've already had a load of threats. So I ended up smoking 3 fags because I was a bit stressed by it. However, when I did go back in the other direction to walk where I wanted to go, towards Barwick, the trouble started to eliminate, so there wasn't so many threats. However, it has been extremely busy, probably one of the busiest I've ever known it for Barwick. So we start off with about another 50 cars on that road while walking towards an area where I can get to where I wanted to go to, which is not bad because usually it's a lot busier, but it's still fairly busy, but it was manageable. When I got to the farm track, there was a car timed to be on that farm track, and I noticed they're doing that on a regular basis, considering there's only 2 houses there or something like that. Right, so at the catalytic converter hot point, you had a black car, a white car, a 6-colour car, a black and blue car, followed by another black and blue car, and I make it across down the track. So down the track that I usually walk, there's a load of people, so there's about 15 people in total. That's counting like the families that come past with, if you were to count a family of 4, that's included, so I'm including like the people that are walking in that family. And then after that, I did a couple of phone calls or whatever. I smoked the 3rd fag, and then obviously after that I had to leave there because obviously it got even more busier, and as I was walking into the barrack itself, there were several cars there. And then obviously when I got to the next section after I left the graveyard, there's about another 10 cars roughly getting towards the roundabout. When I reached the roundabout, I got some of it stated on here, hang on. So initially a seagull said child molester just, shot dead pervert, jail looking, sick, black, white, black and blue, and then there's a gun looking on a car roof, no van, the return t-shirt, and then someone's got on their car Labour out. So what they mean by that is vote Labour out, the Labour Party. Right, so after that you had a seagull saying child molester just. When I got onto the road where there can be 45 minutes without a single car, it was busier than usual, so there's about 30 cars and I had to let all those cars pass. It was all cars, no vans, just cars, but it's in an awkward pattern, and I was being choked out when I went to go to the dead end part. As I was passing the track where I usually go down to go to the spa shop, I couldn't go down there because it's closed off for some reason, and it appears to me that it's probably because the farmer's doing something or something like that, and it's quite literally closed off from the actual entrance itself where you go in, so I didn't go down there. That track yesterday, however, was a bit more enjoyable because I saw a lady down there that was really, really sexy. So she had like her fat was like, she was just a bit fatter so that her bones don't show. So, but her skin was really smooth. You know, it was really sexy. It's like curvy, and her shoulders were like really sexy. You know, sort of smooth skin or whatever. So she had a similar appearance to Kirsty Burke, which is someone that's on a YouTube channel, but not quite the same looking. There's some form of suggestion that she could more resemble Amanda Millis, which is one of the people my relatives know, but I don't really know her that well. And obviously I don't think she actually likes me, so but anyway, when it comes to celebrities or anything like that, I can't think of anyone that this person resembles. But for her age, you don't expect people to have that sort of smooth skin appearance. So she was about 40 years of age, maybe a bit younger. But she had the skin type of like an 18-year-old, you know, like one of those really sort of what they call the sexual type that the men go for, you know, or whatever. You don't see it so much these days because people moan about the age gap, but if you go back 20 years ago, people would have looked at it in a different way and would have said that's a sexy lady. But you can't use that term today because people are much more serious about it and trying to push people into different age gaps, different colour races, and stopping you go with like a black person or whatever if you're white. And it's all different today, especially in the last just over 15 years, maybe just under, it depends. It's really taking grips now. I mean, going back just a couple of years ago, before I moved to Yeovil, I was seeing people my age, roughly, with people that are like in their early 20s, and they're walking around normal. And even the rough people that were giving me fresh back at that time, were looking at those people that were in big age sexual relationship age gaps as not being a problem. So fuck knows what's going on. Anyway, that takes you to where I am now, so let's see what else the day holds. It seems to be one of those days where the threats are very bad, unfortunately. So firstly you had a black car timed, then on the road you had black and blue, black and blue, black and blue, Lisa's van, Hag's van, Sick said. I did actually audio record him saying sick, but because I messed up the recording I had to delete it, and obviously it's only a mild threat. The Seagull says child molester just, but to be a child molester you have to have sex with children, and I've never had sex with children, so that's the creator God lying. Right, so after that you had another black and blue car, a knife shaped car, Polar speed van, another black and blue car, and yeah, I'll make it across the road then. There's been no problems in the last few minutes since I've been down this path, but I'll keep you informed with any more trouble that occurs. Right, so a bloke in his early 20s that looks like Jason Carl from Most Haunted, which is the young chap in season 1 of Most Haunted when they first showed it on telly in the early 2000s. He's like the skeptic, I've forgotten what you call it now, but he looks similar to this but slightly rougher looking in the face and a different accent. Same sort of hairstyle, same sort of age, maybe a bit older. Yeah, he just had a go at me saying, you want to get out of my fucking way, Sven, before I fucking smash you up, because I'm liable to fucking bash you in right now. So he started that shit with me, thinking I was Sven when I'm not Sven. Another 2 people passed me, again rough types of people. These were only the sort of kids, so they were only about 15, and they had sort of this bit of giving it a bit of mouth, really, just saying, you know, he is, don't you? Fucking weirdo. He's going to get his fucking head shot. Fucking sick cunt. Fucking prick. So they said that as they passed me. These were 2, quite rough looking, quite hard build as well for their age. Muscular. After that, you had someone trying to sneeze in my face. Luckily this person did turn her head after a fashion, but not on the initial sneeze. And then obviously that takes you to where I am now. So there's been eight times loud bikes tied to itchy bum holes and erections. An oldish bloke, well yeah old, walks past saying this, there may be trouble ahead. So he said it like that. Liar, strange bloke, said in that sort of accent, but a lot more hardened in the way I'm saying it. And that's coming from somewhere, where I just passed. And then there was a black sexual car my way. Right, so when I passed the road gap, you had a van that says on the case. Then you had a wristwatch van. A flying creature says breaking in, Justin, no one left. And then I see a crowd of really sexy types of people. So they're all females, so there's a crowd of just under 10 people, all walking together, aged between 18 and 35, but there's a possibility that they could have scraped the age of 40, I don't know. Either way, as that occurred, there's a 2 Deep van, spelt like the number 2 and then deep. So basically the same spelling you got on that Jungle record that was released in 1994. Total Science, when they did Legend Record years ago, DJ Gwange, Spin Back, The Alliance, Q Project, whatever you want to call it, they did a series called Legendary, where Legendary Volume 3 had a track on there called Lee and Gwange 2 Deep, and it's quite an easy listening jungle track actually, that one. It's quite a rare one as well. So yeah, that's what it said on the side of the van. After that there's a couple of loud bike issues tied to erections. This crowd that walked past me, these sexual looking females, I don't know if they're British because they didn't have that accent of the people that really start on you. These sort of people in their early 20s that make you look like you're a sick piece of shit. And when they walked past me, they looked at me as if I was a decent person. Just like a nice look, you know, not one of these dry and sarcastic type of looks that you get from the young ladies of most people out there. And also the accent's different as well, because the sort of accent they had was like a jolly, laughable accent, calm, you know, not like the accent that most people have when it comes to females, which is this sort of accent that's like this. Well, fucking look at me, you're a fucking weirdo. You need to be shot. You're fucking going, mate. You're dead. You're sick. Fucking sick, he is. You know, that's the sort of accent the modern ladies or teenagers have. And when it comes to the fellas, it's more like this. I'll fucking kill him. I'll fucking tell you, I'll break his fucking legs. Who's that cunt there, innit? He'll fucking, I'll have him, fucking break his fucking neck. I'll fucking bash, I'll kick his fucking hair out like fucking rugby. I'll put like fucking kill him. I'll put a gun on his head. You know, it's not the type of people like that, it's friendlier people. So, but obviously, although they looked at me, and it wasn't a bad or nasty look, they were just walking past as normal people. See if I can get the evidence. Crow keeps on saying, child molester, Justin. Or is it just going to come to a sudden stop where I can't get the evidence? Christ. I'm getting a bit pissed off of it because it's all the time, yeah? It's always done in a way where I don't get the evidence. As soon as I push stop on it, I start again. It happens all the fucking time. Well, I have to stop it because I can't just leave it on record with no sounds occurring. Right, so walking on the road bit, No Chance van timed, Just Mint van, there's a light green van, that one, black and blue, grey, white, car reverses into a drive as I pass, past a couple of more drives and 2 cars reversing out timed as I walk past. A Becks van, B-E-C-K-S, and black, and then a white car. Right, so a crow keeps on repeating saying child molester, Justin, when I've never had sex with children. Sexual car, broken key van timed. Someone claps saying stab him with AIDS, fucking head case. You know, like that. Cut van, that's C-U-T. Wristwatch van occurs again after that. 3 light blue sexual cars, orange sexual car, grey car, yellow car, and then it's all over van. After that, grey car timed and dark green sexual car timed. I just want to mention something about the CUT van, the cut van. I've not actually seen that specific van, since I was living at Burnham-on-Sea. However, it was very frequent when I was living in Bridgewater. Right, yesterday, first call, just black, blue, sick, hang on, let's just get through this grey, white, hang on, just a second. First call, black, blue, white, sick, grey, something like that, whatever it was. Black, grey, hang on, black and blue. Oh, this is fucking awkward. It's not too busy at the roundabout. It was busier than this yesterday, but it wasn't as tight constructed as this. We've got a leather van as well. Just get across a bit. And this all picks up, stopping me to get across to you. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that, you know that sexy lady I saw yesterday walking down the path? The one where I said I had an instant erection? Well, I saw her again, and she is married, because she's going for a walk with her husband and her children. So let me describe what she looks like again. So she looks similar to the YouTube user Kirsty Burke, and can have some form of resemblance to Amanda Millis, who is a friend connected to my mum's side of the family, or my mum's brother's side of the family, should I say. Obviously this person has smoother skin than Amanda Millis, but let me try and describe her for looks. So her body, sorry. So she had a curvy arm going down each side, but it's built with fat rather than seeing the bones. And she's got like a skin where most people that are fat develop an ugly looking skin and it looks ugly or raw or rough. This was like beautiful smooth skin, really smooth skin. Anyway, she is in a sexual relationship. The person she's with is aged about 50-ish, maybe a bit older, so he is quite an old person. And I don't know what age she is, but she didn't look like she was, like I said, she's got that smooth appearance, so you know, you can't tell what age she is, but she definitely looks like she's a young person. But obviously if she's with someone about aged 55-ish or whatever, 50, it's definitely above 50, at least 50. So obviously she's got a daughter about 15 with a boy, kissing and cuddling, which one it is, or whether I'm assuming one's the boyfriend or one's the girlfriend and one of them is hers. She's got a boy aged about 9, another boy aged about 11, and a girl aged about 3 or 4. So I knew it. I thought she'd be in a sexual relationship. Right, so I've got an ambulance up more coming up me. Right, so obviously what they're trying to tell me is that with the setups, if you look at what's at the roundabout as well, is that you're being fucking smashed to pieces, being knifed down, and going to end up in an ambulance. How nice. Ever since Labour got in power, all these setups have been increased, but at the moment we've got setups, not so much happening today. Well, I don't know, something happened earlier, but I think it's to do with getting Labour out rather than, which I agree with. Well, someone's fucking left a fucking condom there, hang on. Yeah, so what they've been suggesting recently, and it's not, it was over the last couple of months, it was happening just before Christmas as well, but it wasn't, well, maybe even before that. They want to try and make the suggestion that Reform UK are going into power, and that you're going to have your life taken, and that you're no good because Jesus Christ hasn't come through you or returned. So when Reform UK go into power, you're going to be ripped to pieces, or you're going to have your life taken. That's basically what they've been saying, or applying. Well, they were doing this when the Labour Party got in. So what happened initially, back to around about April last year, all these setups increased, and then they were just timing this specific van saying ripping you to pieces every time I was passing Liberal Democrats vote now, or vote that, you know, vote for them and win in here. So every time you pass that, and it's happening on a regular basis, and it turns out true, they do actually get in power for the local election. But for the main election, it was the Labour Party that got in power, and obviously the setups continue to worsen since the Labour Party has been in power. But whoever's controlling this force around me or making these setups or suggestions has been applying pretty much not too long, maybe just a couple of months after Labour got in power, that Labour are not going to stay in power because Reform UK are going to go into power, and that's when we're going to rip you to pieces. And I remember doing this on videos going back at that time, you know, back in whenever it was, November last year, whenever it started. I can't remember when it started now, but yeah, so I've noticed they've been doing that quite frequently, so worth mentioning. Right, so when I mention these setups regarding Reform UK or whatever, that's setups. But there's a different scenario when it comes to the internet, because the internet are applying all suggestions from the media or whatever. Obviously they could be lying, but they have been suggesting that your life's going to change or it's going to get better, but they're doing it in a way where they're applying that I'm going to get a girlfriend. But the problem is that's not going to come true, and they're also applying that there's going to be someone that looks very similar to Kimberly Hobbs or Kimberly Cox, but not that specific person, because that person's got someone and possibly married even, so it's not referring to her at all. But they are making the suggestion in that way that I'm going to be getting someone that looks like that. But the thing is, there is no such thing as anyone that looks like that. So are they trying to get in and trying to pass the borders, making up a load of crap, or what, through suggestions? Because they were also applying me, because they were applying that I'm going to get someone, and they've been doing this since roughly about sort of, I don't know, September last year, maybe October. But then it died off after Christmas. The suggestion just dropped, and there hasn't been any suggestions to apply that you're going to get anything at all, even with the media. But like I said, as far as the setups go, that is continuing to drive out raw power of maliciousness constantly. And obviously, because you don't know what Kimberly looks like, I'm going to have to give you some form of a description. So maybe, how do I word it? Who does she look like? She looks like the type of where sometimes these dark-haired girls have their sort of hair styled in a sort of cool-looking way, and sometimes like have, you know, strands tied down on the front of their head on one side and tied down on the other side. Usually very slim build, smoothish attraction. I wouldn't say like smooth as the lady that I was talking about earlier, but a smooth type, a bit like the witches, you know, that sort of new age witch type people, but a bit more sexual looking than that. Maybe similar to that. There's no celebrity I can actually think of to put any suggestions to how she looks, but that sort of appearance, longish face. So yeah, that sort of attraction. So like I said, none of this has come true, but they have been hinting, and they've also been making the suggestion to me and applying that my life's going to get better. But if they have this technology and thought that was going to happen, it might have even fell through. So even if they did go into power, they've managed to get in power without suggesting any good news for change when it comes to me, if you want to work it on the principle of sexuality. So I'll leave it there. Right, I never really give the age of this specific lady that I said I saw not long ago. You know, the one I mentioned about yesterday, and the one that's in a relationship, and I just mentioned about that chappie that she is with that's aged somewhere between 50, 55, something like that. Where it's difficult to say what her age is. She could be as high as 40, but the likelihood to look at, to me, she looks like she's in a very high top end of her 20s to look at, but when it comes to that sort of sexual looking type, it could be anything. I got some threats. Down. Knife in Friday. I don't know. Right, so Chloe's been saying child molester just repeatedly again. Penis shoots up to 8 times loud bike, Sad shouted, but that's not from the threats that are coming down there. Can't guarantee it is. As I walked to the road, helped the aged bag carried, and a Granny for You minibus type vehicle, which is a grey colour with Granny for You written on the side of it. Dog is barking. Bastard, stab you, just. Someone said, fucking knife him, I'll fight him. Yeah, going back to the lady, you know, I said she'd be somewhere between her high 20s, maybe 40. I'm 43, coming up 44 in December, and I just want to mention she is definitely younger than I am. Not sure how by how much, but she's definitely not my age. Right, so the last 20 minutes they've just been timing loud bike up on loud bike to itchy bellend, itchy bumhole, and time to erections. And then you've got another one now. So in total we've had about 50. Right, so there's been some more bike issues. After that, child molester just said, penis shoots up loud bike, name's not Justin, being murdered said, being shot dead said, penis upset, time to a sexual excited impulse, 9 times loud bike. Crow says child molester, no one left, fuck da, D-A-H. 8 times loud bike, digging into my penis, time to an erection. Crow says the creator is bashing you in. That's never been said as a voice sound before. 8 times loud bike, pissing. Mine's gone, Justin said. Head case, Justin, knife you in. And Crow says pervert. Lady aged about 35ish when I go to the road says, you bloody fancy me, you pervert. Just a minute. Trying to work out what that crow's doing. It's making an unusual sound. Funny man, what a fiend off of Yvonne said. Bird says weird, repeatedly. Bonus to motorbikes, Jungle Justin head case, shot dead said. Crow. I'm not very happy with the voice sounds that are occurring. I'll keep it on record just to see if anything occurs. Right, so things are turning a little bit more sinister. So 25, loud bikes times for itchy bellend privates or whatever, and and 2 erections. Crow, fuck your har. On a winner tonight, sick cunt. Getting knife, said. Reason he's sitting there, spastic, said. Yeah, sick cunt, bash him out, Feena, said. As Feena, F-E-E-N-E-R. Crow says, fuck, B-A-B, bab. Crow says, go in hell, just. Everyone his age are fucking negative, knife him, said. Fucking hospital bed, said. Al says you molested Sadie, and saying you did do Sadie. 13 more issues with a loud bike. Crow says getting knocked out. Penis up 9 times, loud bike. Al says you're Satan, Justin, repeatedly. Al saying you're a sicko, Justin, repeatedly. Nothing left, emptied his fucking emptied his stuff, fucking child rapist, said. Crow, pervert, Justin, shag da, Justin, and then shot dead, just said. Right, so it's 8 o'clock and I've noticed that the sky state is funny. It's basically the sky is posing as a knife. So it's not a very clever suggestion, is it? When we look at the sunshine and the law and curse and all the rest of it, you know, and the sexual suggestions in the curse to painting or whatever, and now they decided to form a knife-looking object by the clouds in the sky. So, I can tell you now, God's fallen. Right, so it sounds like there's a teenage girl having sex in a struggling way in the distance. Anyway, let's get to the other problem, shall we? Mental case shouted, shot dead, no you stole Sam's bike, said. A bicycle, when I haven't. Crow says child abuser, just fuck your far repeatedly. Jungle just fucking bash his face up. Come on through the door, said. Dance transfer wedding anniversary, said. Beat up, said. More bike issues. I'll go and stab him with a knife, beat him up, said. There's been more bike issues. A flying creature just says the word Sadie. Creature says sick cunt, sick cunt, middle-aged woman, said. Bird says sick cunt, having a burglary, just. You're a paedophile, just. So yeah, there's a lot of voice sounds from the animals. Right, so on a motorbike, red car timed to hit me, on the bridge, police car, ambulance, and lights and sirens, bike only. Boner, whatever. Just get right, so all the loud bike issues. There's been loud bikes this morning. Hospital bed said molested Ian, said. Fucking paedophile, sliced your wrist. By a bird, that is. Bloody pedo. And obviously wanking and coming, you had all the sort of that issue there. Illegal gun sound. And the sulphur smell from that. Shot dead, said. Threats to smash me up and to break in, and also the burning problem overnight has been extremely bad.